Is no one else concerned by the amount of ingredients nowadays the products have? Like pretty much every other product you see in a store. Does hummus need to have rapeseed oil? That question bothers me. Like other questions, for example, does sour cream need rapeseed oil? Does olive oil need rapeseed oil? Does bread need rapeseed oil? Does a mince pie, both the one cooked with meat and the one cooked with the sweet stuff, do both of them require rapeseed oil to exist? I don't think that like you need all the preservatives and you need all of these things, and like if you need so many different ingredients just to preserve the item for a long period of time, maybe it's not nutritious anymore. Maybe it does not do the effects that you seek from food to have on your well-being. I think it's time that we get back to seeing food as a fuel and not like some sort of a stimulatory experience. Like it is stimulating in the way that you get to not die. I find that thought titillating. I am titillating on the top of my seat. The fact that I can have the best, most optimal energy that is going to fuel my muscle growth, muscle protein synthesis, that's going to, circulate all the necessary cool, tasty minerals all over my body and send everything necessary, all the right nutrients, all the right minerals to the right spot. That's pretty magical, and that's stimulating enough for me. I do not need to eat a donut that looks like it could have been made out of Lego or plastic in order to feel like my life is complete and I am free from establishment or society or hierarchical structures and so on and so forth. Me personally, no thanks. The same goes towards cakes, brownie. I love brownies, but you can cook a really good brownie at home with like 3 ingredients. Now, so much of what people eat and buy and drink, also having bought it, is literal poison. I'm not going to point any fingers, mainly because if I was to point, because of this super bright flash that is ensuring your clarity of vision, I would simply not know where to point, okay? So I'm not pointing any fingers here. It's crazy that it takes a spiritual awakening for people to realize that they need to read ingredients on the things that they eat and put on their skin and wipe their shit with. Because apparently toilet paper can give people cancer. Now, there are charity foundations putting stickers on the toilet papers telling you which toilet papers are approved or not approved for not getting sick. Do we need to wipe our asses with bleached pieces of paper? Like, is that so crucial? I do not think so. I don't. Personally, whatever the color the paper would be, just I don't care about it being pearl white. It doesn't end up being pearl white anyways, so there is literally no reason for it to be bleached or worked on with some sort of chemicals that gives it its arctic white shade of color. There's so many things. The water you drink from the bottles is essentially like you're just drinking plastic, and at this point I just kind of made peace with it, because the amount of plastic you get from drinking hot beverages out of paper cups and just kind of breathing outside, because the cars have all of these like dust, like dirt, chemical particles, microplastic particles being released into the air every time a car not just starts but like gives a little push. And the reason why I'm currently blinding myself with this, it should not take a spiritual awakening for you to want to care about your health. And if it does, sure, be it. I consider myself a spiritually awakened person, and I recommend it. It's highly stimulating as well, almost as stimulating as eating a 4,000 calorie pancake breakfast. Again, I strongly disagree with the notion that you need to be able to do that in order to feel complete. Yes. In fact, if you do, I suggest checking whether you have some sort of an eating disorder or an empty void that needs to be filled, but ideally it should not be filled with rapeseed oil or sugar, because then, well, you're just kind of shooting yourself in the leg. Anyways, if it takes a spiritual awakening for you to care about your well-being, your health, your lifespan, your happiness, great. Remember to read ingredients. I know it is cognitive effort to like Google these ingredients and try to figure out if it's okay or not. I do it, okay? And it does take effort, but it is okay. Just start kind of like being a little more intentional with your life. You could try and research what are the things that you use particularly on a daily basis are made of and how they potentially affect your life. If they're made of organic, non-synthetic, non-toxic materials, great, amazing, you're set for life. If, however, they are not, that potentially requires some decision making on your part, and for your own sake, I do hope that you make a right choice.